What's up? This is gonna be a little bookshelf tour. I'm gonna show you guys my bookshelf and then I'm gonna show you guys some of my favorite authors and my favorite books. So my bookshelf is it's kind of more vertical. It's very long. It goes up for a while instead of just sideways. I need to get a new one because I'm running out of space. I've just been putting my books on my desk, which is fine, but now I don't have any space on my desk. So, okay, I'm first gonna show you my favorite author ever. I read this author first when I was in 8th grade. I read a short story and I was like, this is really cool. I really like this. So I started reading more of his books and I started just getting like totally hooked on his style. Just, the words he has to say are so good and it's awesome. So cool. What author am I talking about? This is my collection of his books so far. Ray Bradbury, the one and only. I just finished this one. If you are if you want to help release like your creative self that's been totally pushed down, read this book. I like the way that he talks. I like his words, so I like his books, but I'm reading this one right now. S is for Space. This is one of his, he does a lot of like short story. This one's one of my favorites by him. It's called The Martian Chronicles. I read it in 8 hours and I refused to move until I was done reading it. And it was so good and it was so worth it. The ending had me, I was actually jaw dropped like a lot of the time. Read the book. This one might be kind of familiar. This is Fahrenheit 451. His depiction of dystopia is so cool. I think something he does better than any other author I've ever read is he brings you into this world. It's like impossible not to just get into his brain because like nobody talks like that, nobody writes like that. He has such a unique and distinct style. Another quick Ray Bradbury recommendation just because he's my favorite author. This is The Illustrated Man. I love this book. The Illustrated Man is about a guy with a bunch of tattoos and all of his tattoos are a different short story. All the stories kind of connect because they're all these guys' tattoos. It's really cool. It's really good. But yeah, so this is my Ray Bradbury collection so far. And I have a couple of really cool covers like R is for Rocket. This is another collection of his short stories, but I just love the cover of that one. Martian Chronicles again, just a different cover. This one's A Medicine for Melancholy. I have not read this one yet. The cover is sick. I can really appreciate good cover art. I know like don't judge a book by its cover, but like pick something cool, you know? So while I was editing this video, I went to a bookstore and I got this book and I have to put it in. This is a signed first edition Franklin Library leather copy of Death is a Lonely Business by Ray Bradbury. This is beautiful. Okay, back to me. I'm just gonna kind of run through the books back here. I'll just pick ones that kind of like stand out or that are cool. This is a cool copy of Slaughterhouse-Five. This is my first book I've read by Kurt Vonnegut and I thought it was pretty funny. I really like satire stuff. I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's like one of my favorite books. That book is really funny. This is my Asimov collection. I have The Foundation on my bookshelf. That one doesn't really have a cool cover. These ones are all sick. I had a little Scott Fitzgerald phase, so I was reading Tender is the Night, and then I was reading his book on writing, which was actually fire. It's not as good as Stephen King's, but it's pretty good. So I was trying to read more like poetry. Old poetry is so good. I haven't really found any modern poetry that compares at all to Robert Frost or T.S. Eliot or Sylvia Plath. So I know I said Ray Bradbury is my favorite author, but I have to say Ray Bradbury is not the author of my favorite book. The greatest combination of words on pages I have ever seen with my eyes and comprehended with my mind. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This book takes you on a journey. This book is what inspired this tattoo. My favorite quote is from this book, Carry the Fire. Carry the fire. Read it. Sit down and appreciate his words because Cormac McCarthy is another one of my all-time favorite authors. This is my Cormac McCarthy collection. I finished the hardest book I've ever read by far, called The Blood Meridian or The Evening Redness in the West by Cormac McCarthy. This is like deemed by many to be one of the greatest American novels ever written. It's like a Western. You really feel like fatigued after you read it. He wrote this while he was living in the desert. He put so much research into his books. So yeah, Cormac McCarthy collection. Now I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire through some other books that I think are good. No Longer Human and The Bell Jar. So those were super popular. I wanted to know what the hype was about, and they were both devastating, but good, you know? They're heavy books. Those two are very heavy books. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams. The Quantum Magician, Please Kill Me by Legs McNeil and Gillian McCain. It's like a whole history of punk rock in America, and it's really cool. This is one of my favorite things that I own. This is the Bachman books by Stephen King, or Richard Bachman. Stephen King used an alias, which was Richard Bachman, and he wrote some books under that name because he wanted to basically see, are people reading my books just because I had a couple good ones, or do they really like my writing? But these were the books that he wrote under that name. But why this one is so valuable is because it has a print of one of the novels that is no longer in print. It's a book called Rage. It was influencing some violence in schools, so he cut it from print. Any copies of the book are the only ones that are ever going to exist ever. It's a compilation of 4 different stories. My dad got me this as a surprise, and it's one of my favorite things that I own, and it's really cool. Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. If you like elementary explanation of complex science, some other poetry, The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot is really good. Most of Edgar Allan Poe, Ariel by Sylvia Plath. And then I have the Dragonlance Chronicles. Dragonlance Chronicles were like my first fantasy series. Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, R.A. Salvatore, which is again just like the fantasy stuff, dragons and knights and princesses and all that. Those are just so fun. As far as like my graphic novels go, most of The Walking Dead, Lock and Key, Scalped. Scalped is insanely hard to find. These aren't even my books, these are my uncle's. He collected them and lent them to me. Preacher, the art style is really cool, it's really unique, and they made a show, and it's really good. And then I don't have it on my bookshelf because they weren't my books that I read, but The Boys, they're the most graphic novels I have ever read. Very graphic, very graphic. Yeah, these are the books I'm really into. You should read one of the books that I showed you. Especially you should read The Road, but if you decide to read any Bradbury, that's also good. Then you can start to just find authors whose combination of words you like the best. Start collecting your physical media now because it's all you're gonna have. Thanks for tuning into the book review, and also just comment anything.